What is up, Ivy Leaguers? That is right. Tomorrow, Sunday, is the biggest stage of them all. It is the Super Bowl. You've got the Patriots facing off against the Seahawks. It is a rematch since what, 2016, 2015 of the Super Bowl. And let's see if the Seahawks can get their revenge. All right, we've got a heck of an episode for you today. All Super Bowl stuff. Let's dive right into it. Of course, we'll have some college hoops coming up in the next couple of weeks. It's going to be fun. Um, but today is all about the Super Bowl. The football season is coming to an end. College came to an end, and that's always sad. But now NFL is coming to an end, and let's dive right in. All right, so obviously, hit some talking points from the season. Okay, the Seattle Seahawks, arguably the best team we've seen in the NFL all year. They've looked good pretty much throughout the whole season. All right, they're 14-3, obviously NFC West champions and ultimately NFC champions. They were the number one seed in the NFC going into the playoffs. I mean, look, guys, they are tough to beat. They have probably the best defense in the NFL, in my opinion. I mean, they're starting to look more and more like the Legion of Boom that we saw back in 2015, 2016. And they allow only 17 points a game. That is incredible statistics there when looking at it. And it's going to be tough to beat them. But not only is their defense good, their offense has all of a sudden turned into a really high-powered offense with Sam Darnold at quarterback. All right, Sam Darnold obviously was drafted by the Jets and went to football purgatory, but or at least quarterback purgatory. But he's made his way around the league, and all of a sudden, here he is with the Seahawks with a chance to win a Super Bowl. All right, and he is surrounded by a lot of weapons, including Jackson Smith-Njigba, Cooper Kupp, Kenneth Walker, and many, many more. Okay, and it's going to be an interesting matchup because when we go to the Patriots side, they also have a star-studded defense. Okay, you've got again they were 14-3, AFC champions. Here they are. All right, they've battled all postseason. They really haven't played a great game all postseason. We've been waiting for them to have that breakout game. They haven't yet though, and that's why I think a lot of people are favoring the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks opened as a 4.5 point favorite, which shocks me because I feel like everyone is sleeping on the Patriots, okay? And we're going to talk about Drake May, of course, the GOAT, some might say. Drake May lovers out there somewhere. um, but no, look, everyone is sleeping on the Patriots right now. And I don't think they should be. I don't understand that. All right, because the Patriots have, like I said, a star-studded defense, an offense that, when the offense flows, can put up a lot of points. And they've got some weapons around Drake May, and they've also got Drake May. So it'll be very, very interesting to see how this game plays out. So let's dive right in. All right, let's look at the Patriots' path to the Super Bowl. All right, because like I was just talking about, they haven't had a very good game. It's been very defense driven and methodical for the Patriots so far. And they haven't put up a ton of points, but they haven't needed to, okay? Their defense has been able to keep them in these big time playoff games. It's not like they've played all cupcakes. Now, I'm not saying that they've played the hardest schedule, but I mean, look, the Broncos weren't bad. Obviously, Bo Nix was injured for that game. Broncos aren't a bad team. Texans weren't a bad team. Who else they play? It's look, even with the teams, the games that they've played not being the hardest, the most difficult, the most intense, they still have been able to win. And like I said, the Broncos game, it's tough to even count the AFC Championship against the Broncos because that game was played, the fourth quarter, or really most of the second half was played in a blizzard. I mean, you couldn't see the field. And so if it's hard to judge that game because offensively you're not able to do anything in the snow, regardless of what team you are. You are not able to do anything. And the defense played great that game, forcing turnovers, stopping the Broncos, forcing tough field goals. It was a defensive win, and that's how the Patriots have gotten to where they are. I mean, you look at Christian Gonzalez on the defensive side of the ball, he is a lockdown defensive back. And I think that's going to be one of the key matchups for the Patriots here, because if let's look at it this way. The Seahawks have at least three options, three star-studded options on a pass play. They've got Jackson Smith-Njigba, who is, in my opinion, slowly turning into one of the best wide receivers, if not the best wide receiver in the NFL. Give him 3 years, and he might be that number one receiver in the NFL. Then you also got a guy like Cooper Kupp, who he was the best receiver in the NFL for a hot minute. He had a bit of a falling off, but he's still at a very, very high level. And you also got Kenneth Walker out the backfield, who Kenneth Walker can, one, run you down if they hand the ball off to him. Out of the backfield, he's a solid target for Sam Darnold. So I look at Christian Gonzalez for the Patriots, and I think, well, he can't guard all three of them at the same time, all right? And that will be the key factor for me, is can the Patriots cover all of these assets for the Seahawks? Because if they can find a way, if Christian Gonzalez can isolate Smith-Njigba, JSN, and if the Patriots can find someone to control Cooper Kupp and Kenneth Walker, I think they have a shot here. I think they have a legitimate chance. That's a key for me. I really think that's the key. Yeah, it is a 4.5 point spread, but I think the key for the Patriots is locking down those big targets for Sam Darnold, because Sam Darnold, he's not been in the Super Bowl before. He's not been in this moment, okay? He doesn't know what it's like. Neither has Drake May. I'm just saying it's different in the Super Bowl, because every play could impact your legacy. And so if the Patriots are able to take away his quick read options, like Cooper Kupp, like JSN, then he has to think more. And you want the quarterback to think as much as possible if you're the Patriots. You want Sam Darnold to be thinking as much as possible so that he can make a mistake. He can overthink. Because in a game like the Super Bowl, you do not want to be thinking too much. If you think too much, you can get into a lot of trouble. And the Patriots have done a good job of forcing quarterbacks to think twice about throwing the football. And if they can get enough pressure on Sam Darnold, I think they will be able to take away this win. I'm not picking them yet. I'm just saying they might be able to get it here. All right, let's look at the history, though, because we all know this is a rematch of the Super Bowl, what was it, 10 years ago? 10, 11 years ago? Something of the sorts. And that was one of the greatest Super Bowls in a long time, okay? You had Russell Wilson leading the Seahawks versus Tom Brady leading the Patriots. And it was a showdown there. And, you know, we all know the story. Seahawks have the ball on the 1 or 2 yard line with a minute left, or 30 seconds left. And they decide to throw it. And Malcolm Butler intercepts it, and the Patriots win. The Seahawks decided not to run the ball with the great Marshawn Lynch, and they decided to throw it. And like I just said, Malcolm Butler happened. Malcolm Butler jumped the route, intercepted it. Patriots win the Super Bowl. Simple as can be. I think it's arguably one of the greatest coaching mistakes in the history of the sport. And it certainly has left a salty taste for Seahawks fans. It's one of the greatest memories of all time for Patriots fans, I'm sure. But it truly, I remember watching it and just being shocked. Marshawn Lynch is one of the most dominant running backs in recent running back history. And the fact that Pete Carroll decided to throw the ball, that is just not smart. It is dumb, if anything. And so you have to kind of think that this is personal for a lot of Seahawks fans. A lot of Seahawks fans still have that very poor taste in their mouth, okay? I mean, they vividly remember Malcolm Butler ruining the Seahawks season. And they vividly remember Pete Carroll not giving the ball to Marshawn Lynch. And the Patriots fans, I think they think it's personal for them too, because they have been doubted all year. They said Mike Vrabel was not the right hire. Well, he just won Coach of the Year. They said Drake May is not a good enough quarterback. He probably could have won MVP this year. They say Stephon Diggs is washed. Well, Stephon Diggs has done enough this season to get the Patriots to where they are. And I think that the Patriots just have so much underdog mentality to them that it's good to root for. Like, you can feel the underdog mentality from the Patriots. And to me, that is very important in a game like this. And so like I said, I'm not 100% picking the Patriots here. But shout out my guy, Ben Harris, Patriots fan. He has been grilling me to pick them. He has embraced me into this Patriots culture. And it's tough not to pick them because they are such a interesting team when you break down the statistics of it. Like I said, Mike Vrabel has done an incredible job this season. He just won Coach of the Year. He's got it. He knows what he's doing. All right? It's going to be a showdown, okay? If you had told me at the beginning of the season that Drake May and Sam Darnold would be facing off in the Super Bowl, I probably would not have believed you. But guess what? Here we are. Super Bowl Sunday, and I couldn't be happier. All right? It's two teams that I'm not biased. I don't care who wins. I'm just rooting for a good game. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch, okay? I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait for people to, get all amped up about it. We've got a fun halftime show. We've got a fun just event. The Super Bowl is a fun event. Enjoy it. It's always a good time. It is always a good time. All right, so let's close out the video here, or podcast episode here. All right, so the odds makers have Seattle around a 4.5-point favorite. But record histories show favorites do not always cover, okay? And in this case scenario, the big hoorah, what's going to happen moment is which defense will prevail? Will it be the Seahawks defense, which has played great all season and is looking like the second version of the Legion of Boom? Or will it be the Patriots defense, which Christian Gonzalez leads and is an incredible defense, which can be a wrecking crew at times for anyone? And I think the team that will win is the team that's defense shows up tonight and puts the most pressure on the quarterback. Tonight, it is all about getting the pressure on the quarterback. Not tonight, the Super Bowl's tomorrow. It's all about getting pressure on the quarterback. If that does not happen, then you will lose the Super Bowl. Either team. Okay, Drake May is too good for the Seahawks to let him have plenty of time, and Sam Darnold is too good for the Seahawks to let him have plenty of time. If either of these quarterbacks have enough time, they could run away with this game. But these defenses are good. All right? You got a wrecking crew from the Seahawks defense, and you've got a demolition team from the Patriots. Which one's going to come out on top? I think I'm going to pick the Patriots. What? Ivy's going to pick the Patriots? What? He's picking the underdogs? Yes, I'm picking the underdogs. I think Sam Darnold chokes. And maybe I'm wrong. Because I love Sam Darnold. But I think Sam Darnold chokes. And I think that the Patriots defense will force enough turnovers to win this football game. I think that Drake May does enough to get the win. I don't think he'll have some crazy 375 yards game. He'll just do enough to where the Patriots can get the win and where the defense can hold the Seahawks. That's my take, and I'm sticking with it. All right, I literally just came up with that on the spot because I didn't know who to pick. But, my Patriots fans have convinced me. All right, Ben Harris, Tatum, y'all got me. Y'all got me locked in on the Patriots. So I am picking the Patriots to win. I think it'll be a defensive showdown. It'll probably be like 20-17. Yeah, I think the Pats pull it off. That's my take. I'm Ivy Taylor. This is the Ivy League Sports Podcast. Greatest podcast on earth, some might say. You know, I don't know who. My Emmy's invitation got lost in the mail, but that's okay. Just playing with you. Of course, I'm Ivy Taylor. Vibey Ivy. The Ivy Taylor. I go by a lot of names. Have a great day. Have a wonderful Super Bowl. Look back on this football season as an incredible one because it was a wonderful football season. I'm Ivy Taylor, signing off. Good night.